Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We are here for a very exciting episode today because there was a very exciting show that happened last night here in Saratoga Springs, New York. And we're going to talk about it. I'm Ryan, and I'm here, as always, with my friend Neil. Hi, Neil.
So would you say that this is exciting because the show is exciting? That's exciting.
A lot of exciting things happening. I'm also excited. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff happening right now. None of wow, I can't speak. The least of which being, you and I are somehow potting in different rooms in the same house.
Well, I mean, I just can't sit next to you, man. I don't know what it is. It just messes with my flow. Now we're in separate rooms.
To be around.
This is great.
Yeah,
it's not that. It's not you, man. It's me.
That's what they all say. Well, we're here. We're here. Goose came back last night. They were not fucking around last night at all. Before we get to Goose, shout out to the Disco Biscuits for opening the night up. Friend of the pod, Mark Brownstein, happiest guy in the venue last night, the whole night.
Yeah, the biggest Goose fan in all of Saratoga Springs last night, Brownie.
Yeah,
I was fired up to be there.
He was. And they look really happy to be playing. So that was fun. Shout out to our good friends of the pod, Josh and Matt, who were throwing down during the Biscuits set down in their box. Throwing down. If you were in the pavilion, you probably saw them.
Yeah. First of all, the pavilion wasn't terribly full, but I think that's had a lot to do with the heat. But the people who came to the Disco Biscuits set were feeling it. They were, it wasn't just Josh and Matt. Josh and Matt were throwing down, but there were others.
Giving them
there
were
a lot of people who are really into it. They deserve the shout out.
Yeah. I looked over to my right, and it's like, oh, they're my friends throwing down.
Yeah, I have to say, Goose with an opener, fun. I had a great time.
Yeah,
a little bit of
I thought it was great,
and then
I'm looking forward to Mo tonight. Also,
I am very much looking forward to Mo. It's I don't know what's going to happen. I think based on the events of last night, like some cool things might happen tonight. I'm really excited about that. But a big fan of Mo for a really long time. So this is going to be dope. I'm not going to miss a note of that set.
There we go. Neil's been around a while, you guys. All right. Well, let's talk about this Goose show because we have a lot to unpack here. This is a pretty incredible show. We get one of the longest first sets ever. We don't have exact times yet, but based on friend of the pod, Adam, and our resident in-house stats guy, he said this is the second longest first set ever played by Goose, just a few minutes behind MSG 2025. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, last night's went long due to the weather, but it was great. And I think that there's so much to love about this set, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a hot take.
First of all, we're kind of giving away the end here a little bit, the end of the first set. But if they had ended the first set and just called it a day, which I think they thought was a possibility when they were ending this out, they stretched it a little bit long, played another song because, they were worried that it was going to be called. But that one set alone was good. I would have left that show really, really happy. So it had a little bit of everything in here. It was a complete meal. You didn't feel like you just kind of had like one course and then you were kind of left hungry. I would have walked away sated at that point. So
there we go.
Good thing though they came
hungry?
back.
Do you need to eat after the pod, by the way? Like, are you feeling a little peckish?
No, we're just gonna be doing food analogies right now.
Food analogies
I
today?
should probably do more eating. Yesterday I did not eat much. It was a very busy day, and I had like a bagel and 2 slices of pizza. And that was all the food that I had yesterday.
You did great.
So it was a fast-moving day.
Well, hey, before we talk about the music, also very exciting news. There's a new guitar on stage.
Yes.
The Lemurian Scepter.
Yeah.
What a name.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's been in the works for a while now. I think when the Archtop made its appearance, we reached out to Greg DeLuise and we said, hey, what's that? And then, of course, that is the ES-150 clone that Rick was playing in the acoustic set and also with his sit-in with
Jim James.
With Jim James, thank you. And so, we asked about that thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you like that? Well, I got this other thing coming," and he's like, "And you can't tell anybody," which is amazing.
But like it was basically like a watch out. Like something's in the works. It's going to be very exciting, and excited to finally see it on the stage last night. And man, this thing sounds amazing.
It does sound incredible. It's very buttery. That was the kind of decision that we came to this morning on the re-listen. It's like I'm missing a little bit of the screech that the Empress has. Like it gets a little
the bite. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to it that it's like it's got a little bit of an edge to it. This one is smoother.
And I think we're only one show in. We're only one show in with the Scepter though. So like I feel like we can't pass full judgment on that yet. I'm excited to hear it tonight. Presuming that Rick sticks with it when they come back in August. But I'm looking forward to it. So should we talk about the music?
Yeah. Well, wait, let's talk about the guitar a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, more. It's a really beautiful guitar, first of all.
Yeah.
And kind of back to the full Empress style after, it doesn't have the same headstock as the Dracul. So it's just kind of like an upgrade to the Empress. That's what I think when I look at this thing.
Sure. And it's just I think that was I think that was the intention behind this one too. Like I think Dracul was like they're going to go in a different direction, and I think with the Scepter, not having spoken to Rick or Greg about their process building this, but it seems as though Rick was like, here are a few things that I would want built upon the Empress design. And it seems like he's very happy with it. I mean, he seemed very happy with it last night, especially given the show that they played.
Yeah, the wood top is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, really pretty guitar.
Flame.
And excited to hear more of it, but it does seem like a love at first sight kind of thing. Rick just kind of picked it up and played.
Same with the Empress. Like when he got that, it was immediately his number one guitar. Expecting this to be a similar situation. So the music, first set starts off with Echo of a Rose. Usually, we've seen this as an opener a lot. This is not your standard version. Immediately we get a little dark, a little minor key, Let It Grow almost situation for a little while here, which is really cool. They're playing with that ascending melody. That's kind of like the conclusion to the jam of Let It Grow. But man, like you can tell from the jump that this, like, we could tell immediately during this Echo jam, it's like, all right, this show's going to be good. And we knew that, like, historically, Goose has played its back 3 shows previously, and all of them have been great. 7/7/23, amazing show. 9/6/24, great show. 9/7/24, amazing show. So, like, we knew that they're going into this last weekend of tour. I think, despite the fact that they've been playing so many shows, they're like energized going into the last 2 shows before they're off for a month. And so I at least was expecting these next 2 shows to be really amazing and pretty special.
Yeah, and they've lined up the bangers.
We got a lot of them last night
to play. Yeah, exactly. We got most of the bangers they lined up last night, which leaves you wondering about tonight. But that's not what we're here to talk about yet, at least.
No. We'll get there.
Yeah, but no. So my thoughts briefly, you kind of already touched on it. The Let It Grow jam inside of Echo of a Rose it was awesome. I mean, first of all, I wonder how they found that. Like, if there was intention there, like ahead of time, they're like, hey, let's play with this theme, or if they just kind of magically found that and all jumped in together. But I'm sure they're all familiar with that music, at least a little bit. We know
in theory.
Yeah. So an out the gate jam that sounds like that, I agree. That tells me things are going just right at this show. And we've talked about it a bunch. Sometimes the playing is just there. Even the things that like are mundane sound somehow a little bit different, a little bit shinier, a little bit more sparkle. And that's what we got here. So
there's a lot of sparkle in last night's show, like in everywhere. Like
everything had like a little extra last night.
No, but like sometimes you get like a dusting of sparkle. I feel like we got like handfuls of it last night, like especially in the first set. Like they were playing like crazy. Dustin next after the Echo. I mean, so what, one of the things we talked about after the, what was it? Merriweather? Did they play Dustin last? Or was it Raleigh? It was Raleigh when they played Dustin last. I was kind of like, every Dustin's been the same this year. And we get a little bit of an extra thing in the middle here, kind of calls back to the Fiddler's Dustin from last year. This little kind of darker, spacier deviation in the middle of the jam. They still end up doing the same build peak that they've been doing all year. But I like that there's something different happening here. That this is a very positive sign to me, and I hope that, you know, when we come back in August, which is now like we're finally like, you know, the next time these songs are going to be played, or, you know, 5-6 weeks from now, which we haven't said since the beginning of this year. I'm hoping that this trend continues and we get that thing built out a little more. You know, they kind of teased around it and drifted outside Dustin a little bit, and then, you know, kind of rein things back in before too long. But more just that's the sparkle.
Yeah, right. So this, I mean, you know, Dustin this year really hasn't been all that exciting. This one actually did feel exciting to me. I don't know if it was more like I was just like really hyped for the show or anything like that, but just the little darker edge on it, the little exploration of that Thatchy theme that they have in there. Just I was excited about it. It's just a little bit different. It's a little bit more than the Dustins we've been getting, and that's good enough for me to be stoked about it.
100%.
Yeah,
that's it. Well, speaking of things you're stoked about, Strange Overtones next up.
Oh man, what a beautiful song, man. I'm so glad this is part of the regular rotation. It's just such an absolute banger. And then I think, you know, kind of looking around in that moment, I think folks have kind of picked up on this. I don't think everybody knew what the song was. Of course I did. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Let's just keep doing it, man. This is a great set one cover. Absolutely amazing. It's just a vibe. And they needed to do that vibe too, because you just had back-to-back jams. So, I mean, at this point, I don't have track timings, but I'm saying we're 35-ish to 37 minutes-ish into the show when Strange Overtones comes on.
Just over half an hour. I think Echo was 15, Dustin was around 17.
Okay, so 32-ish. So, you know, that was a lot of jam. And so get a little bit of a cover, breezy cover in there.
I will also point out, I mean, they had one planned for the second set, but this is the only cover of the night, which is also, you know, cool and rare. I think we only get one cover. But I will agree, love that this is in regular rotation. And this also, like, people were digging this. I will say about the crowd last night, you know, when you get a show like SPAC, there are people who aren't as into Goose, but I think largely the crowd last night is like people who are there because they love Goose, because they're coming up to SPAC, because they're like, this is a can't miss weekend. You know, I feel like a lot of the shows on this tour, there have been people seeing them who haven't seen them very much, you know, more casual fans, if you will. But it felt like the crowd was very dialed into the show for the whole time last night. You know, I didn't feel like when they hit jams, I didn't feel like there were a lot of people talking around. I didn't feel like the clapping got out of hand, you know, like as there have been on many shows on this tour. And so I think Strange Overtones always like is a good barometer of the crowd, because I think when people are really in, like, this song like really brings the energy. Like I remember in Amsterdam, like this was fantastic. You know, people love this tune. So listen, I'm not familiar with this tune before Goose covered it, but I love it now. And, you know, very grateful to have listened to it twice last night, because you played the original version for us at around sometime in the middle of the night.
It had to be done. It had to be done,
of course.
Yeah.
We didn't get to by the way, we didn't get to listen to the Thatch after the show last night, but Strange Overtones had to happen.
It's because you weren't familiar with Strange Overtones, because you only listened to 4 bands.
And rightfully, when we're all hanging out, a group of us, you don't let me choose the music, which is very fair.
Yes, that makes sense. After hours of Goose, it was time for something else. So,
yeah,
played a series of songs.
7297 stash. Anyway.
Yeah.
Pop next. I mean, this song is so good. This is, I don't have much to say other than Pop still rips. They've dialed in the vocal effect. 2 thumbs.
The vocal effects, it does seem like third time around we've got this. Is it the third time or is it the fourth? It's the third, right?
Third. Yeah, they did it in Raleigh.
Third time around, we finally got this one nailed. So, yeah, I mean, this is a great first set song. Not much more to add. You know, there's not many ways to dig into this song, but I think folks the chorus got people going last night. That's for sure. Got me going. And then the big, you know, the other thing I was going to say about this is the only acceptable air guitar song in the Goose catalog. Like, this is the one where, like, when they get into like that Aerosmithy kind of riff there, everybody's allowed to play air guitar. That's the one time. You can play air drums any song you want, but air guitar, no, don't do it. But you can do it here. Those are my rules.
Can you play it and don't do it?
what air guitar and don't do it? I mean, I suppose you could.
Well, good. So I'm the arbiter of when clapping is okay, and Neil is the arbiter of when air guitar is okay. That's what we've learned.
Yeah, clapping is never okay. But
except for when Peter
I don't know.
says it's okay.
Yeah, except for when Peter
it doesn't matter. It wasn't an issue last night. We don't need to dwell on it. Next up, Born. Very nice. We keep getting the slow jam back, which I'm a huge fan of. This one doesn't go too long, but you get the textures, and most notably, it's gotten a little dark by this point. Shout out to Herm, the lighting director from the Disco Biscuits, who joined Getty over at the boards last night and was running the lasers. Let me tell you, with all due respect from the Disco Biscuits, I think Goose should just steal Herm to run lasers at every Goose show going forward, because the two of them together was a dynamic combination.
You realize you don't need two guys to run the lasers.
I know, but I'm sure. Okay, so
it's possible
lasers at Goose. Yes.
That Getty was running the lasers completely, and Herm was just there to hang out and talk shop.
I mean,
watch him
fair.
do his craft.
It looked like he was doing stuff. So whether he was or not, but we should have lasers at Goose.
Yeah, I mean that's the big story on the night, other than the music and the new guitar. It's like, what a night!
And the stack and the weather and the
and the lightning and the all the things, but like the lasers, man, holy smokes! Lasers made this show. Absolutely made this show. But not much add to the Born thing. Got a little kind of dark and mysterious for a moment, and then segued beautifully into the media, this is what we're getting to talk about here, because
this is it.
Goose came to throw down.
My God.
They showed it in this one. I mean, full on boots plus lasers. I mean, it was all of the things, I hope there were some Disco Biscuits fans who came and never really listened to Goose and just kind of arms folded through the first, half of the set. And then they saw that and they were like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
I hope there's one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope there's one or two.
I feel like more than one or two. I feel like we could do that. I feel like we got more than one or two last night.
I hope so.
But yeah, this media was crazy. There's one part early on in the jam when they're getting into the goons. Peter's doing all the sequencer stuff. He has all 5 of his fingers on his right hand on the Ableton thing. All the lights on that thing are lit up, and then his left hand is doing stuff on the Roland synth, and it's he's just this in the middle of his rig, and it's okay, full mad scientist mode, going crazy, and you love to see that, it's just it shows that practice makes perfect, and they've been practicing this a lot, and they pretty much, I mean, we said this a while ago. It's okay, they have mastered the Goons now. But then they do things like the MSG Slow Ready and last night's media, where it's okay, there's more. Shout out to Cotter also.
Sure.
He almost segued into Flow Down in the middle, but
oh, that's right. I forgot about the flow down. We were talking about that earlier. It's straight up flow down for a couple minutes.
We were listening this morning and we were like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar.
Yeah. This is absolute flow down momentarily. That could kill a song, but it didn't here. The jam just kind of took off after that. It was a beauty.
I don't think they were, gonna make that segue here. Doesn't feel like
no. It just so happened to sound like flow down. I don't think anybody wanted to be there. It's just that's where they got to, and then they kind of took the thing off. But no, of course they weren't going to play flow down.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't heard this media, I mean, boards aren't up yet. Hopefully they will be soon, but go back to the stream. I mean, you want to go watch the stream anyway, so you can watch this media with the lasers and the lights and everything happening. But this is crazy stuff. This is. I mean, it's this is the we're okay, this is the highlight of the first set, and then they keep going. I mean, I think this is still the highlight of the first set, but there's more.
I mean, there was still good stuff. The Echo Over Rose is one that I'm going to go back to and listen to.
Yeah.
That Dustin. I might go back and listen to that one. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this set. This is a great Goose set.
Well, we're still going.
They stop right now, and it's almost a regular set, by the way. So we've done one regular set, full of music at this point.
Yeah, this is 80 minutes in.
Yeah. So crazy, absolutely crazy.
Jedstone coming next. Beautiful cool down, perfect. We were all so hyped up after the media, everybody had been raging, and Jedstone was just perfect. Cool down, show off the new guitar a little bit. It's lovely. Sing along.
Yeah.
People were singing.
I mean, yeah, it's just it's a set one cooldown song now, which I love. And then big finish, guitar solos, you get all the things, man.
Yep. And then there's like some talkback situation happening, from where we could see like crew side
you
stage,
see this on the stream,
venue, whatever. Yeah. No, but from our vantage, it's like clear, like they're talking, and the band starts Empress. And so our thought initially was like, oh wow, like they were 90 minutes into the set, and Sam King was like, guys, it's time to get off the stage. Like you've played a first set, and so my initial thought was like Rick was like, nah, we're gonna play another one. And then Neil looked at the radar, and I don't know, if you saw the Blue Sky post from the Always Almost There account last night, it's maybe the most foreboding looking screenshot of a radar I've seen like around a concert. Like not a huge system, but it was like a little cell heading right towards our location that was just like all red, like red. Completely. And so we were like, so our thought for most of this Empress was like, this could be the end of the show. We don't know what the rules are at SPAC. We don't know what could happen. They might be forced to call it based on the weather.
Right.
Happy we didn't, but we were less focused on this Empress than I think I would have liked. But like, holy shit, like this Empress is crazy.
This is the jam highlight of the set, right here.
Yeah.
This one goes in my playlist for sure. Maybe Media does too, but I mean, this one feels at first like they're just going to do regular Empress and they're out. Take a solo, you take a solo, I'll take a solo, and we're going to go. But no, this thing goes to the dark and most mysterious of places. And it just gets like grimier and like more and more tension, like the way this thing goes on. I mean, it is really, really something. And I don't usually get all hyped on Empress jams. And let's be clear, this is not a Goons Empress. This is a straight up played, jammed out Empress. And just the tension building that they were doing in this thing was just so incredibly good. And again, your reminder that this band was playing real sharp.
Yep. I mean, Trevor and Cotter really here to me, like, Rick is obviously the one driving the darkness, but the way that Trevor and Cotter are supporting him here, it's insane. And Cotter, especially with his different pivots, changing the intensity, the way that he's driving the jam. And when he gets into those like big, like China cymbal hits at that one point, like ridiculous, just ridiculous.
This is a good one.
It's so good. It's so good.
20 or so minutes, maybe like a little bit more than that.
Just short of 20, I think.
I think it was a little over, but I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong there. Like I think it was like just short of 20 when they were finishing out the rest of the song.
Sure.
So I think that's what we were saying in the moment. But in any case, it's really, really good, and which is like not expecting any of that at all. Like I was expecting like quick, cut short, get out. None of this like seemed like it was going to happen, and they just like slapped a jam down. It was just like one of their best of the night, which is really crazy, absolutely crazy kind of a show.
Yep.
So then,
it was eventful. I mean, so the band walks off. Representative of the venue comes forward. It's like, if you're in the pavilion, stay put. You're good. If you're on the lawn, leave your stuff. Go to the building at the back of the lawn because it's about to thunderstorm. I think it had already started dumping at that point, but it was dumping rain for a little while. We got some lightning flashes. There was one bolt of lightning that was so close. The thunderclap was crazy. My favorite part of it was right after that thunderclap. There were some people towards the front of the pavilion there was like a good time sign and an end time sign. And you heard that giant clap of thunder, and just something, the person just like holds up the one that just says end times. Like,
it was so good.
Yeah. It was great. So we were wondering,
there was not much space in between the flash of light and the clap of thunder on that one. It was
not any.
It was close. It was real close. And from what I've heard, everybody was safe. So grateful for that, because that thing came in a hurry. That storm came out of nowhere, came in a hurry. I don't think they had any time to prepare for it. And I don't think things could have worked out better in terms of the music.
It was an amazing call. It was an amazing call to play the Empress and be like, all right, the weather's due in like 20 minutes. Like, play another song. We'll get the weather delay at set break. and set break was like pretty much normal length.
Yeah.
So
nice cool breeze.
Listen, the rain helped a little bit. It was still pretty damn humid, but like there was a little more air to breathe afterwards.
How good was the music last night that we are just now 25 minutes into this podcast at set break in terms of the flow of the music, are just now talking about how we were near death with the heat. Like,
well, that just tells me you weren't in Homedale,
bad.
Neil, by the way, because it was not as bad as Homedale.
Well, okay, so I guess like you have Homedale as a point of reference. Boston was also pretty hot. I don't know if you remember that too, but
I do.
In any case,
only 3 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, true. Yeah. Last night was sweaty. Last night was sweaty.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, hey, they came back out for more music. How about that?
And they do anything interesting right when they came back out, Neil?
Yeah, just another Thatch.
Just another Thatch. We've heard Thatch. You know, there's no way they're going to top 7.723 in terms of SPAC Thatch. Wrong.
Yeah.
This Thatch is ridiculous. This Thatch is insane, guys.
Whoa.
Well, it takes a certain type of jam, Neil, for you and I during a show to several times in the same jam look at each other and kind of laugh in disbelief.
Yeah.
And I think it happened like 3 or 4 times during this jam. Like
there was some cackling going on last night.
I was cackling.
Not the usual. There was a lot of woes. There was a lot of. I mean, there were a couple different moments. I mean, let's get into the jam. You mind if we get into the jam here? Talk about this thing.
The jam.
I know. I mean, you wrote about what 7,000 words about the jam.
Yeah,
so
more or less.
If you want to just read your Substack right now, why don't you go ahead and do that, and I'll talk about the jam after.
I mean, I don't usually.
In any case, I'll do the Reader's Digest version first.
Perfect.
Which is like an incredible transition from a very light major key jam to a dark jam that to me is reminiscent of the San Francisco Wisteria. It just builds 100%. Intensity, and it's just like darkness and like even more. But I don't want to gloss over the bliss portion of this, which is, you know, very much in the neighborhood of Jed Stone, and is just beautiful and was like just really nice. You got like the cool breeze coming in, you know, the humidity has been drawn out of the air by the thunderstorm.
A little bit.
The scent of fresh rain in the air. Only a little bit, but the scent of fresh rain in the air, and then you get this beautiful jam, and then Rick just turns the whole band on a dime. It's really actually kind of cool, the transition from one to the other, and then they go into this darker space, which again reminds me of the San Francisco Wisteria, where it just kind of like builds, and then there are a couple instances where it looked like, okay, Rick's done. He's signaling the way out, but no, he's just building more tension, kind of like doing those false peaks and just getting it even more, you more on the edge of your seat. And yeah, man, this thing it's great. It is a great jam. I'm not calling it the jam of the year, but it's one of the best they played this year. Yeah.
Yep. That's cool that we now have, 2 Thatches like a week and a half apart that are going to be, in our top little bit of the list right now. I have a couple things to add to what you said, echoing that it's absolutely insane. I love that Rick didn't take the easy exit. But early on in the jam, the way that they transition out of Thatch, Cotter kind of takes his foot off the gas out of this, straight funk a little bit. And Peter does this like just beautiful synth pad. And while he's doing this pad work, Trevor and Rick are just all over each other. And Trevor is the MVP of this jam. What he's doing to, like, first of all, you get vicious slap work in the funk section. And then when they get to the bliss part, he's doing this insanely beautiful melodic stuff. And then when you get to the dark part, he's just like, he's right in there with the tension. Like, Rick is the one with the lead stuff, but this jam doesn't work without how much tension that Trevor is adding on the low end and the way that he's complementing what Rick and Peter are doing. And that's like, that's incredible. I mean, we've been fawning over Trevor a lot in the last bunch of shows. But this is crazy stuff.
Guy can play. Guy can play.
Guy can play the bass. Yes.
In this particular jam, he was always playing just the right notes. So adding tension only where it was really needed. So it wasn't just kind of full on, just like only really hitting those notes, just like peppering his kind of, I mean, it sounded like he was playing a bass solo and everybody else was along for the ride in a couple different sections in this one. But like, it's accenting Rick's guitar was just right. I mean, he was hitting all the right ones and not too much, so it was great.
Oh, so good, man. I've only listened.
Sorry.
Thank you. No, we did that. By the way, we got back for those who are curious what Neil and my post-show routine was last time. We got back to the Airbnb, sat down in the living room, and immediately went woo and decided that Thatch was one of the best jams of the year. So that's what happened last night.
I didn't want to say it last night. I was trying hard not to, but it's a good one. So go back and listen.
You made it until like 11:45 before you said it. So that was impressive. Yeah.
It's almost the next day. So
almost 15 whole minutes after the show ended.
yeah. Close to the next.
This Thatch is amazing. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. If you have, go listen to it again. I'm going to.
Yeah. Do it.
Then we get Segway Summer continues. Good to be.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like at this point, we're not getting, big jams in the rest of the set. Good to be was a great choice. People love it, obviously. Great energy. I love, you get a short, I think it's like 12 or 13 minutes here. But you get a good peak in this one where like Trevor and Peter are really offsetting what Rick's doing very nicely. There's like a little sparkle, for example, like even a 12 or 13 minute type 1 version of this song gets a little extra towards the end. And I think that was great.
Yeah. Just like brief stop at church after that one, lift your hands up to the sky. There was quite a bit of that.
Can you feel it, Neil?
A lot of white lights. I actually like, this is a good time. A lot of yellow lights, but this is a good time to talk about like where we were sitting in relation to the light rig. We were like eye level with like the light rig like directly above the band, and so it had these kind of circular LED lights that just kind of flashed out into the crowd. Like we were right in the high beams, man. It was like it was really. Yeah, go ahead.
I've never seen you take your sunglasses on and off more times during a show.
Yeah, well, I don't like putting them on during a show. I only do it if it feels like I'm going to get completely strobed out. But this was different. This is like high beams in my face. Like I'm driving down the road and there's this guy who just like forgets he has his high beams up. And but it would be like for like 5 seconds. And like I don't like to have my sunglasses on at a show because I don't want to miss the lights. And especially last night. This is a good time to remind everybody, if you weren't at the show and you haven't watched the stream, lasers still going. All night long. This stuff was incredible.
Lasers.
Yeah, you didn't want to miss a thing here. And of course, like in this section, amazing. So, but yeah, this one was like yellow high beams in your eyeballs, like just constant. But the lights were dope, and the kids loved it. And it's about this point where like our section was completely full, like in the aisle, like people were just raging.
Yeah, I was gonna say our section, there were a lot of empty seats, but like, we were right in the middle, and there's just like this wide aisle that just like it kept feeling like there were more people coming down the whole show. It didn't feel like it got packed, but there was a crazy dance party happening, which was great. Led by none other than Scarf Guy himself, Mark Comito, who arrived before the show yesterday, looked at his seats in the middle of the row, and was like, I'm going to be right here in the aisle.
Classic.
Which is on brand. If you don't know Mark Comito, look for the guy who's dancing wildly in a scarf.
Yes, and it's also his Super Bowl when it's so hot that it's completely acceptable to have your shirt off. So Comito was there for it.
Exactly. Hey, while we're talking about other people who were throwing down, let's give a shout out to rail MVPs. No disrespect to the people who are usually on the rail who are throwing down, but Dylan and Woody down on the rail in front of Peter last night, throwing down. Woody just headbanging during Thatch, which is the greatest. And if you don't know who Dylan is, I mean, he's been on the pod before, but he's the one on the left side who was jumping like 15 feet in the air several times. But shout out to that.
Really, really tall guy, Dylan. Woody, just very big guy, big hair. That's
a lot of hair. Yeah, you can find Woody.
Both of them. Yeah. Both of them, fountains of positivity. So I'm so happy they got next to each other. They're both really good friends. They had no intention of standing next to each other on the rail. I think a lot of folks were vibing off of them last night. So shout out to those guys. They're great dudes.
Yeah, it was great. So back to the music. Good times, end times into post place. Not anything super crazy. The crowd's still loving this. I think based on what they were planning on doing with the Brownie Marb situation, I think this set could have benefited from, maybe you do Amongst Her after Good to Be and then just play So Ready, and just like let Brownie and Marb cook a little bit. Because, we got a kind of truncated sit in there due to the, impending curfew. But I mean, good times, end times, like I still love it.
Yeah, well, I'll counterpoint that. I mean, I don't think this is the place for this in a show.
I agree.
I do like this piece of music. I do, but it felt like the air got let out of the tires here. You're riding this incredible high. You play one of the best jams of the year. You follow it up with your brand new hit single, and Rage that jam, and then it's just like, all right, everybody, you can dance, but it's like hard. And like, so we've got this thing, and we're gonna do it for a bit.
A long composition, yeah,
and like, oh man, like I don't know, like, I guess I was excited to hear it, but at the same time, if it was just a regular run-of-the-mill Goose show without like a composition type piece in the middle, might have been a little more fiery. I don't know. This might be controversial, but I don't know if this is the place for it. Like late set one, maybe. I don't know, but
I think this song
that's where you're getting it right now.
But, yeah. I would like to see this song in a first set, like open a show with it. I think this would be a killer opener to a show. But I'm excited to see, where this goes. Post place, I feel like it's gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I don't know how necessary it was here, and I would like to see this one get played on its own as well. We've seen it in the same show as Good Times, End Times, but all 3 times so far. A lot of times. But anyway, non-core So Ready. Let's get a non-core tonight again. If we get in this place.
Well,
but
I think it's important to note, like, by post place, Brownie's standing side stage, and he's ready to go. Like we
were saying, like, we were imagining, like, by post place, he's like pacing around backstage. He's like, raring to go.
But he was side stage at this. Yeah. Like he had come out at this point.
Right. Oh, I didn't see him during post place. I just saw him at the beginning of So Ready. But I remember, set break, like, they're tuning up his bass on stage, and so it's like, all right, Brownie's coming up. Brownie was not leaving SPAC last night without getting on stage with Goose. Like that was a non-negotiable. When they accepted the offer, it's like, I get to do the Goons. Like, he wants to be in there, which I love. And watching him get down during the song part of So Ready before he got on stage was great. He was loving it.
I mean, he was ready to go. There was nothing was stopping him from sitting. If they said no, he was running on that stage. And it delivers. It is more than I thought it was going to be. I actually thought, like, 2 bass players. Bass players sit in. You're kind of like, no, okay, great. It's like a drummer sit in. Like, okay, there's more drums. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Like 2 bass players is very similar. So I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't expecting much. Of course, you get the shift from Trevor puts down the bass. It's only Brownie playing bass, and Trevor's on whatever equipment that is. Do you know what that is? The Marb
turntables. Yeah, it was like Trevor put down the bass. Trevor put down the bass, and I was like, okay, I guess Trevor's just gonna sit out the end of this one. And then he like kind of was, it wasn't on the screen right away, and his turntables were set up like kind of obscured by Cotter. So I was like, what's he doing back there? And then one of the screens like panned to him, and I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. So first non-Gooseness appearance of DJ Marb Menthols on the Goose stage. Exciting stuff. That doesn't go too long. We only get a few minutes here, but it was fun. They seem to be having a great time up there. It was great. Yeah.
I mean, it's like all Marbs. It didn't exactly bring the house down like past Marbs, but it's I mean, folks were tapped at this point. We're approaching 3 hours of music at this point, and we're tired.
And it was hot.
Everybody's a little hot, tired.
It was great.
Maybe feeling a little electrified from the nearby lightning strike. I don't know, but in any case, it was like the energy at this point was not nearly on the level that it was in the Patch and Good to Be, but still very
which is understandable.
Yeah, sure. That's what it is. But hey, that's it. That's the show. This is one of the better shows they played this year.
I think so.
I think that's true.
I will tell you, Neil, I am very much looking forward to seeing what they have tonight. This is their last show for almost 6 weeks. They have not really had a break since the end of March. And so they're probably looking forward to that. This tour has been so good. They're playing so well right now. So I'm hoping and assuming that they're going to throw the hell down for us this evening at SPAC.
Yeah. I have 2 words for you. This is what's going to go down. Rebubula to rum. It's a mashup of Rebubula
I hate that.
and butter rum.
Just play Rebubula.
Come on.
Rebubula's sick.
No, I feel like the butter rum's got to be in there, man. This Rob from Mo, Rob and Al out for a mashup
singing
of
butter
rum.
I could hear Al singing butter rum.
Yeah.
Can't you picture that?
I can picture it just being a Mo song. Like, I feel like they could write a butter rum. In any case,
is that a compliment? Is that a compliment?
It is. It is. I love butter rum. I'm not a butter rum hater like you and a lot of other people. I love the dance song. In any case, I'm so excited for tonight. It's going to be a really, really good time.
Mo starts in less than 2 hours.
Yeah. So we gotta get ready. We need to hydrate. At least get another liter of water. A liter.
Yep.
Not a quart. A liter.
Metric system.
Yeah. Yeah. In any case, we got to run. It's been a long podcast already. Long show.
So we had a lot to talk about today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But we should go. We should go get ready for the show. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, we'll see everyone out there. Enjoy the show tonight. We will see you for the final day after show of this leg of Summer Tour. It will be tomorrow evening. Stay tuned for timing update there. But enjoy the show tonight. Really excited to see what Goose has in store for us. And Mo. It's going to be great. Show up early if you're here at SPAC. Don't miss out on that set.
Don't miss the
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. And we will see you next time. Peace.